Ed Conway is outside the Bank of England. So the bank has released its an announcement, its decision, that hold on interest rates at 4%. You've been released from the vault where that news was made public. What was the mood music? What were the key facts and figures and the details behind that decision?
Yeah, we've just been inside the bank. Obviously, at the time, ahead of this decision, we get some of the analysis so that we can kind of bring it to you as quickly and hopefully with as much detail as possible. They've left interest rates on hold, 4%. That's more or less what the market was expecting. So economists out there, market investors, they thought there was maybe a kind of 1 in 4 chance of a cut. But the bank has left rates on hold. But I think what's interesting here, so not entirely unexpected that they would do that, especially ahead of a budget. They're kind of just broadly speaking a bit less likely to do anything radical ahead of a budget. But what's more significant than that is the hints that are dropped therein about the likelihood of future cuts. So first of all, it's a 5-4 vote. So basically what happens when they decide on interest rates, you've got 9 members of the Monetary Policy Committee here at the bank. They meet and they decide on this, and then it's a majority vote. And this time it was 5-4 in favour of leaving rates on hold. 4 members said they wanted to cut interest rates. And obviously you don't have to be a mathematician to work out that that's knife edge. And any single other member deciding to cut rates, and then you've got a cut. And it does look quite likely. I mean, no one knows for sure. They're taking each decision as it comes. But looking at everything that we've heard today, that knife edge vote, also the fact that the bank says that inflation, so it's 3.8%, it's above its target. So its target is 2%. And all else equal, you kind of want interest rates to be higher if you've got higher inflation, because that tends to bear down on prices. But nonetheless, the bank says that they think that inflation has essentially peaked and is starting to come down. You can see the interest rate on the screen there. So another month of that being at 4%. But I would say, based on all of the things we're hearing from the bank at the moment, based on their inflation forecast, based on the vote that we've got, you'd have to say that it's quite likely that they are potentially going to cut interest rates, maybe as soon as next month. So that there's a meeting just before Christmas. Could be an early Christmas present if the bank cuts interest rates, if indeed you have a mortgage, particularly a floating rate mortgage. And really the question now is everyone here waiting to see what the Chancellor does at the budget, because obviously if she's going to be raising taxes, if she's going to be cutting spending, if she's going to be doing any of these things in quite large quantities, as you know, we've been talking about the scale of what the budget might involve, that could have a bearing. It will have a bearing on wider economic growth. And so put all of that together, and it's perhaps no surprise the bank didn't do that cut today, but it looks like they are basically geared up to do a cut as soon as next month, maybe February. We'll have to wait and see.